Hey guys, welcome to the video. My name's Luke and today, as you can see, I'm showing my face. I decided since the channel's growing, I might as well put a face to the channel and oh man, it's hard to look at the screen. What to say. So in this video, I'm going to be making a beat out of a small children's Barbie keyboard. So you're wondering, what the f***, how do you do this? Well, I'm going to explain it. And I don't own a Barbie keyboard, just saying. But I'll tell you the story now. So, it's summertime, so me and my family went to a holiday home up in Cork. I live in Ireland, by the way. While I was up there, I stayed there for a week. And while I was up there, it was kind of boring, but sometimes it was cool. We went kayaking and stuff like that. But in between all those activities, we were just sitting around drinking tea. During being bored, I found a small little keyboard and it looked like this. And I'm sorry I don't have it with me today. I left it up in Cork, asked my dad to bring it down, but he let me down, forgot it. Not shout out to my dad, but through the power of the internet I can get a picture and show you guys. But what I did basically, I sat down on this little tiny table. So what I did is I sampled one note of the keyboard, which was the C key. C key. Voice crack, and I'm 20. But so I sampled the note. So what I did is I sampled the C key, dragged it into a sampler in Ableton, just using my MacBook's microphone, and what I did is tune it, because for some reason the note was out of tune. Maybe it could have been like a low battery issue, or you know what, I don't think a kid's gonna be like, this C is 0.4 semitones out of key. But anyway, tuned it up as you see in the video, and then what you can do, once you have it in tune, playing at C, you can play all the keys you want, you can stack the layers and and what you can do is play any melody you want. Then I came up with this cool melody. I applied some effects as you see in the video, and basically I got a cool outcome. Did my drums, love doing the drums. My favorite part of a trap beat is doing the drums, so kind of went crazy on them. Hi-hats, claps, snare rolls, toms, the usual crack, you don't understand crack, the usual business, and basically came up with this cool beat. You probably heard it at the start with the little LHK logo, and well, that's what the beat was at, and it was just so cool that I could take this little keyboard and just make it into a beat. And I don't own the keyboard, stole it from my little cousin. If he comes after me for money about my beat, if I sell it to Lil Uzi Vert or Future, he ain't getting any money, cause you know. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Need to start looking at the camera, not start looking at this screen by my side, and let me know what you think of the video. Was the beat cool? Did you enjoy learning how to sample children's toys? Do you think it could be a new style of trap, new wave? But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to thumbs up the video and subscribe if you want to see more, because it really helps the channel. Enjoy! So, we're in Ableton now, and first thing I'm gonna do is grab my sample from the piano that I got up in Cork, the Barbie piano, and I'm gonna drag it in here, just drop it into a MIDI clip, and it'll automatically assign to a simpler. I'm just gonna change it to a sampler to get some more features. I have this MIDI, and I'm just gonna turn it off. Just for now. And so a few settings we're gonna have to change before we start adding some effects and making this sound good. We're gonna turn snap off so we can bring it further back. I'm just gonna bring it to all because this is fairly clean here. There's no artifacts here. I'm going to put it to a sustain mode of straight arrow, so it just keeps playing, it doesn't reverse backwards. And what I'm going to do is set the velocity to 0 and set the volume to 0 so it plays at its maximum volume. And for now I'm just going to set the release to 50 milliseconds since I already have a melody. So we'll see how that sounds now. So before we go at this, we're going to have to do a few things. So I'm just going to turn down the volume because I've normalized this sample. I'm just going to play the C key. And if anyone kind of has been producing for a long time, they know that That does not sound like a C key. So what we're going to do is going to grab a tuner and make sure to get this sample in tune, because you can literally get any audio sample and play a melody with it as long as it's in tune. So we're just going to get this tuner sample and we're going to press our C key. So it's quite obvious that this is in F. Now, as I said before, I pressed the C key, but I don't know what was going on when they manufactured it, or it might have been the piano, might have been thrown around by my little cousin, but we'll fix this with technology. So we're just going to press it again, and we're going to bring this down and tell Ableton this sample is in F. So we can see this is in C now. There we go. And now we can play our sample like a keyboard. And since we have voices set to 6, we can play chords now. Now we have our melody here that I've created. I just got a MIDI sample, as I said, a MIDI kit, sorry. We're just gonna quantize this and we'll see how it sounds now. So we can tell it's actually playing a melody, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down an octave. Maybe I'm just going to change some MIDI notes here. So we have a nice melody going and our sample is in key and you can play chords, but at the moment it sounds really raw, so we're going to add some effects. So my go-to effect for all these kind of things is some EQ, because the sample is going to have some unwanted frequencies. So what we're going to do is just play it and see what it looks like. So you can see there's some low frequencies here. So what we're going to do is going to get the low cut, and what I like to do is bring it all the way here so it gets rid of all the sound, and bring it down until we can hear it. So you can tell, well, you actually can tell that it's been EQ'd. So all the low frequencies are gone, which we don't want, and we still have our core sound. But what I'm going to do is going to get rid of some hissing at the top. I can really see and hear some really bad frequencies. So if I just show you there, if I turn it, you can just hear some really nasty frequencies. So this actually even makes it into kind of a Rhodes, but we're not going to disrespect the maker of the Rhodes by saying it sounds as good as that, but it sounds quite soft and mellow, if you can say that. So next thing I'm going to do is going to add some reverb. My favorite reverb at the moment is called Shimmer, Valhalla Shimmer. I don't know what it is. It kind of just, it adds a little more than a standard reverb. It just adds some frequencies here and there. So that sounds pretty cool. I'm just going to get some ping pong delay. So that sounds pretty cool so far, but what I'm going to do is go along and get some chorus to add some width and some weirdness. So what all these effects are doing is basically we have a really raw sound, and what we want to do is kind of make it a bit more wet and kind of modern, and it kind of, the more effects you have on it, well, not the more effects, but the more kind of atmosphere you have to a sound, the easier it's going to blend in as a beat. So here we have the product so far. So that's what I'm going to do, is a bit more EQ after that chorus, just in case some low frequency snuck in. And what I'm going to do again is use another EQ, and you can tell there's a few harsh frequencies in this synth. So what I'm going to do, an easy way to get some resonant frequencies away. So I'm going to come down here to my analyzer. This is FabFilter Pro Q2. You must have seen it if you're a producer. It's quite an expensive product. It's not that expensive, but you know, it's a paid product, but I think it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to go down here and press the freeze button. So what it's going to do as frequencies come up, without this, the frequencies actually go down after they stop playing. So you can tell they're going down as the sound gets up, but this actually freezes it and it lets you see maybe the peak frequency of the sequence. So you can tell from the 1400 to the 5000 range, there's a lot of high frequencies here. And now in fairness, this is the core of the sound, but maybe we're just going to take some down here to make it a little less harsh. So this is with it. And without it, you can really tell, if you press this headphone button, you can hear all that kind of really harsh frequencies. You can actually hear some disharmonics, which is good if we're getting rid of that. And we can turn it off and we can see that our... So I'm just going to make this a bit smaller. And now that we have our frequencies kind of sorted, we can get to the more creative stage of adding like some halftime effects or some scratch effects. So I think what I'm going to do is go along and get this VST called Shaper Box, which I showed you how to halftime with, and there's and there's also a scratch section to the plugin. It's pretty similar to Grow Speed, I have to say, but you know, I'll take it because, you know, I saw some comments. Shut up. So I'm just going to go along to the scratch section of this plugin and pick a preset I really like. So I like this soft scratch fill here, and I'm just going to apply it and see what it sounds like. So I think it sounds better on the second section of the beat, so I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn it on and off continuously. Now I think there's a better way to do this, but I haven't discovered it yet. So if you know about a way in Shaper Box that you can make it last longer than a bar, let me know in the comments and teach me something. So we're just going to play it now. So basically it won't activate here or here, it'll only activate here and here. Actually, you know what? I think it'll only sound good at the second bar. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take this away. And what I'm doing here by putting the automation down here is basically, if I had audio or something and I wanted to copy and paste it, the automation would go alongside it. So I think this is a better practice to actually have the automation in a separate bar. So say if you wanted to edit some of this MIDI here, you could have separate automation, and editing this won't actually have an effect on the other MIDI patterns. So here we'll play it again. So I think that sounds really good. What I'm going to do is quickly put together some drums and come right back to you. So as you can see, I've added some drums to my beat. I'll let you hear them one by one without the keys playing in the background. So first I have a kick. And this is from a Nick Mira sample pack. And a quick tip how to make really hard hitting drums. You can hear this is a quite soft kick. What I use is the drum full parallel, and it comes along like this, 50% I think. And what I do is I set the attack to 30 seconds I think. Set it to dry wet to 50 and crank the threshold backwards in makeup gain until you get that really hard hitting kick. So I'm just going to make sure I have the right settings. Yeah, I do. And I have it hitting with the 808, which is really cool. Again, the Bodega 808 tuned already, and I have this distortion plugin, which is called this Devastator. And basically, I've just tweaked these settings. You can copy them if you want. This is probably the best distortion plugin I've ever used. Ableton's is grand, but I just find this gets a really raw signal. It's very similar to FL Studio's Fruity Fast Distort, I believe. So I'll let you hear that, and I've done some transpose automation. I'll let you hear that as well. 1 sec, I'll get it up there. Show automation, and it just pitches down. I'll show you now. So there's the kicks, really love that pattern, and some hits, which I call my claps and my snares, so basic stuff. As you can see, the 808 stopped for a while, but you can see that you'll be able to hear that the keys and the 808 kind of go between each other, so it kind of adds to the bounce of the whole beat. So I had some perks, the Zaytoven Tom and the Shaker, classic samples. Shout out to Zaytoven. And finally some cymbals, so my open hi-hats. So simple 8-note pattern with some rolls up and downwards, and finally a simple open hat. Then finally what I did with my keys is changed a few of the settings, added a sidechain, and the beat sounds like this in the very end product. So the next step of this beat is to start arranging it. Now, I will be doing a full video on this, but I'm just going to quickly run through how I'm going to organize and lay out this beat. So what I'm going to do is take these and delete here. I'm going to start off with just the keys. And I'm going to add some and I'm going to add it over here. So what I'm going to do, maybe I'm going to half speed this for the kind of main part of the song. This will be the hook. This is going to be intro. So what I'm going to do is get this and take the compressor off and freeze it down so I can half speed it. And then I can just loop this over and over again. Have this here. So what I do is bring it to 4 bars here. Sorry, 32 bars should I say. And it'll start here, so the reverb will sound natural, and it'll loop over and over again from here. So I'm just going to call this keys. And what I'm going to do is, actually also what I'm going to do is take this, half speed it. So the hook here will have the keys playing at full speed, and I'm just going to see if the keys sound cool half timed. That sounds cool. So as you can see, I have my keys half timed at the start of the beat and my keys at their normal pitch in the hook. So I have this play maybe for, just going to separate this with Command E, have the percussions come in, and then I'm just going to bring the hook back in and then just let it repeat over and over. And I think the keys are lacking a bit of layering, so what I'm going to do is I'll highlight all this. I'm just going to consolidate this so the keys, 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 and copy this over, bring it down here and set it to complex and pitch them down. Now I'm going to add some more reverb because you can't have enough reverb. Oops, I need to put my sidechain in. So that seems like the beat. So the last step of any of the LHK beats is to add my signature, I don't know what you call it, hits, and I have them in this other project ready to go, and that's the glass hit and my other hit. I'm just going to call this tag, and what they do is they loop over and over again. I'm just going to play this now, might be a bit loud, turn it down. Nope. And I have my mute effect ready to go, have it down here, and basically what happens is before the drop or the hook of the verse I always have it stop for an 8th note. So as you can see, turn this on and it'll and have it kick once, so but going to copy this over E, have it for every hook, there, and these are just going to fade out here. See if this is so I think our beat is finished. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe if you want to see more. Peace.